Today we mix absolute values and inequalities together to work to solve absolute value inequalities. So starting with some basic equations with not much to them. Remember, when we have an absolute value equation, we break it up into two parts. So here x is greater than or equal to 2. The one thing we have to watch out for, and it relates to dividing by a negative, when we make this one a -2, we got to flip the sign. So you should have two different signs in both equations. So again, write the equation out. When you make the negative answer, make sure you flip the sign also. So here is our answer. That's all we have to do because there's not much more than an x to it. X is greater than or equal to 2, and x is less than or equal to -2. So if here's -2, 0, and 2. So it's a closed circle at -2, and it's less than or equal to, so I'll shade it to the left. Closed circle at 2, and it's greater than, so shade it to the right. In the next example, we have x is less than 5 and x is greater than -5. So if we were to graph this one, we have x is less than 5, so open circle and shade it to the left, and we have x is greater than -5. So here we have an AND type of graph where you have something shaded in the middle. Think of intersection. Here you have an OR graph, shaded to the left and the right sides. So today we can have a combination or either one of those depending on the inequality. Let's do some more and add some numbers in this time. Right? So there is only absolute value here. So I can break it up. X plus 6 is less than 1. So I rewrite essentially the whole equations without the absolute value. And then on the other one, I write the same thing except I flip the sign and make that last number negative. Because this stuff in here can be then that -1. But when I make it negative, I got to flip the sign. And then I have to solve each one. Subtract 6. So x is less than -5. Minus 6, minus 6. And x is greater than -7. So if I were to draw a number line graph of that, see, open circle at -5, and it's less than that. And open circle at -7, and it's greater than. So I'm going to shade in between. Down below here, break it up into two parts. Remember the inequality almost as it looks without the absolute value. And the second one is the same except flipping the sign and making that last number negative. So now to solve, add 9 to both sides. So x is greater than or equal to 10. And here adding 9, x is less than or equal to 8. So with the number line, it's greater than or equal to 10, so I'm going to have a closed circle at 10 and shade it to the right. Here it's a closed circle at 8 and it's less than, so shade it to the left. Adding some more elements to it. Again, before we break it up, so we shouldn't break it up yet. We should make sure that we have just the absolute value. So I want to subtract 5 from both sides, and I'm not dividing, so I don't have to worry about flipping the sign. So absolute value of x minus 3 is less than 1. Now I can break it up and 2x minus 3 is less than 1, and x minus 3 is greater than negative 1. Flip the sign and make it negative. So now if I solve that, I can add 3 to both sides. So I have x is less than 4. Here, adding 3 to both sides. X is greater than 2. So x is less than 4. See 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Less than 4, so open circle on 4. Shaded to the left. Here, greater than 2. Open circle at 2. Shaded to the right. The last equation, I'm going to add 2 to both sides to get the absolute value stuff by itself. And now I can break it up into 2 separate parts. So 3x minus 9 is less than or equal to 7, and 3x minus 9 is greater than or equal to negative 7. And then I need to solve each part. Add 9 to both sides. 3x is less than or equal to 16. Divide by 3. So we get x is less than or equal to 16 divided by 3, which is 5.3 repeating. Over here, add 9 to both sides. So I get 3x is greater than or equal to 2 divided by 3. So I get x greater than or equal to 2/3, which is 0.6 repeating. So on the number line, x is less than or equal to 5.3, so I'm going to have to guess a little bit where it is. So we'll say it's right here, 5.3. It's less than that, so a closed circle, and I'm going to shade to the left. And greater than or equal to 0.6 repeating. So or equal to is a closed circle, so I'm going to have a closed circle here. And I'm going to shade to the right. So here I have a closed circle on both ends and then shaded in between.